Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 6.
I know he's got to make a living. He's got a very nice personality, but this is not what he should be doing.
A Christine, North Dakota woman blew the whistle on a contractor in the valley after he took her money, started the work, and then never finished it. Good evening. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Dolores Kremlich is her name. She says that she's been taking sponge baths for over a year because she can no longer shower in her bathroom.
Valley News Team's Ashley Bishop investigated why the contractor wouldn't finish the work and what people need to know and understand when they're getting themselves into these situations.
It's just a mess. I'm tired of taking sponge baths.
Last February, Dolores hired Timothy, a friend at the time, to remodel her bathroom.
He said, I can do it. He said, I'm licensed. He said, so I can do it.
Dolores paid Timothy $1,250 for supplies. He started the work in the bathroom and then never came back to finish the job. Timothy left Dolores's bathroom with exposed insulation, a corroded faucet and tub, and rotted out floors.
So when you need to flush the toilet, you fill this bucket, and that's how you flush the toilet.
Dolores says she can no longer leave the water on in her house because it'll leaky, and it must be turned off and on in the basement.
I run up downstairs many times a day.
Dolores said she has been reaching out to Timothy for over a year and has not heard from him, so she called us for help. We called Timothy today.
Hello?
And he told me he's not licensed and does not do plumbing work. Why didn't you tell Dolores that you do plumbing work and took $1,250 off of her?
I was going to help her with her house when I was working at the roadway, but at this point in time, I've had 3 knee surgeries, and I've been trying to find somebody to do the work for her.
Timothy said he was planning to finish the work. Dolores admits she was in the wrong for not double-checking Timothy's license with the state.
I trusted him too much, and I didn't check. I did not check to see if he was actually qualified.
In Christine, North Dakota, Ashley Bishop, Valley News Live.
Now, this story does have a relatively happy ending. After we got involved, Timothy gave her money back this afternoon. The story is a reminder, though, to all homeowners who have considered having some work done. Check out the contractor with the state and the Better Business Bureau. Get everything in writing and only pay in full when the job is completed. And if you ever need help uncovering an issue like this, call our whistleblower hotline. It's available 24/7. It's 701-237-6576. And a member of our investigative team will then get on the case for you.
Another very windy day out there. Take a look at this tree blowing like crazy in the wind. Let's go over to Robert Hahn to find out if those winds will calm sometime tonight. Robert?
Yeah, Mike, eventually they will calm down, and they are slowly subsiding as we've gone through the past several hours, slowly starting to decrease across the area, but still seeing winds gusting well over 30 miles per hour across much of the region, including here in Fargo. Still seeing winds gusting as high as 35 miles per hour, 39 miles per hour in Gwinner, 41 in Fergus Falls. Peak winds that we've seen across the area, Jamestown and here in Fargo. Peak wind of 54 miles per hour earlier. Red flag fire warning, wind advisory, both continue until 7 p.m. Clouds, we've got some. Those continue to drift off towards the south and southeast. Underneath, a few rain and snow showers. Much of that is dissipating, but could still see an isolated flurry. Temperatures are tumbling. Temperatures in the 20s and 30s in most areas, and wind chills as cold as 9 in Thief River Falls. We'll see a cold night tonight. Some unsettled weather as we head through your Friday, and that unsettled weather will continue right on through the weekend. We'll detail that coming up in just a few minutes.
Sounds like spring weather.
Oh, yeah. Unfortunately, in North Dakota, it is spring weather.
All right. Thanks, Robert.
And those winds are causing a lot of issues today. Xcel Energy's blaming high winds for confusing warning in South Fargo. A major power outage left about 4,000 people in the dark for about an hour or two. Around 10:30 this morning, drivers had to navigate without traffic lights near Main and 32nd Avenue South. A number of gas stations, restaurants, and homes were affected. In fact, employees at Casey's General Store in South University tell us that they had to move around the food in the fridges.
Fireworks are likely to blame for a grass fire earlier today on I-29 south of Horace. Investigators say that Star Fireworks was testing a firework about that time. They attempted to put out the fire, but it spread quickly. At one point, it was about 60 feet wide. The fire started next to the Star Fireworks building, then jumped the median, and then to the east side of I-29. A reminder, much of the state of North Dakota and southern Minnesota is under a red flag warning. Between wind and dry conditions, fires can spread quickly.
Police say a comment left on our Valley News Live Facebook page could soon lead to an arrest in Grand Forks in an assault case there. Adam Dahl is still recovering at a Minneapolis hospital after being badly beaten outside a downtown Grand Forks bar last weekend. A friend who was with Adam Dahl last weekend originally told police they were jumped by as many as 5 men outside the bar, and that Dahl was repeatedly kicked in the head. But that's not exactly what happened, apparently. According to an eyewitness who posted on our Valley News Live Facebook page, her name's Emily Landowski, and she says that she saw Dahl and another man arguing, pushing each other, and she saw the man get on top of Dahl and get in a few good hits, but she says that is when she jumped out of her car and tried to help, but she said that he was never kicked in the head.
So that post on the Valley News Live Facebook page led to a person of interest?
Yes.
Do you expect an arrest in this case soon?
We're hoping so, but like I'd mentioned earlier, we want to make sure that we explore some other avenues in our investigation before we move to an arrest, but hopefully it does lead us towards that, yes.
Police now say after interviews with witnesses, it may be next week until any formal charges are filed in this case.
A teenage boy accused of trying to kidnap, attack, and rob a woman at West Acres Mall pleaded not guilty today. Prosecutors say 15-year-old Abdurrahman Sahil pointed a gun at the woman, threatened to shoot her, and tried to get her into a car. The assault happened in September. The woman says she was injured in the attack. Sahil is a juvenile, but because of the serious nature of the crimes and the charges against him, his case has been moved to adult court.
The Hennepin County Medical Examiner has confirmed that the body pulled from the Mississippi River last night was missing college student Jennifer Houle. The medical examiner listed the cause of death as freshwater drowning. Earlier today, before the official confirmation, Houle's father said he believed the body was found and it was his daughter. Now, Hennepin County Sheriff's officials recovered the body after a 3-day search of the area. Crews found the body near the Bohemian Flats on the west side of the river near the 10th Avenue Bridge. A celebration of Jennifer's life will be held on April 12th, and the funeral will be April 13th.
A bill that would outlaw revenge porn in North Dakota is the governor's signature away from becoming law. It passed the State House yesterday on a 92-to-1 vote. This bill makes it a crime to distribute graphic or intimate images of someone without consent. Anyone violating the law could spend a year in jail and also pay a $3,000 fine.
290 projects totaling $1 billion in Minnesota, and officials say it's only maintaining the roads and bridges that are already in place.
The Minnesota DOT has revealed its major roadwork projects in Moorhead, and one business is ready for it to be over already. Valley News Team's Bradford Eric explains.
This area of downtown Moorhead is going to be a mess this summer. There's a $10 million project plan that's going to grind up and resurface the roadway, install new sidewalks, and put in new traffic lights. And officials say it's all in the hopes of creating a better traffic flow. Meet Nancy Augenbaugh, owner of Kwame Travel. It's just steps away from the road, serving nearly 20,000 drivers every day.
This is just an example of my paperwork from this project.
Oh my gosh. Augenbaugh says Center Avenue, or Highways 10 and 75, is dangerous. And she says springtime is an adventure.
Before you go out, you have to kind of look both ways and run so you don't get sprayed by a car.
The grading of the road now means all the water from the spring thaw pools out front. This isn't the only area where orange cones will be seen for the next few years. Work will be done on 9th Street and Main Avenue. And to the south, 20th Street will be extended. The list of headaches drivers will encounter is the size of a migraine. The area can count itself lucky, or unlucky depending on how you look at it. $1 billion in road construction might seem like a lot, but the need is much greater.
Really, it's just not enough funding out there. Just, there's barely enough funding to, we're having a hard time even keeping up with maintaining the existing roads that we have out there.
As for Kwame Travel, it's going to be an interesting summer.
Would I rather not have it done? Of course, I think, when you have that kind of interruption, but if you go to any big city or any city, that's what they do.
In Moorhead, Bradford Eric, Valley News Live.
Minnesota DOT officials insist drivers pay attention and put down your cell phones, especially in the work zones. Also, drivers should check for alternate routes and avoid construction areas if possible.
Today, Moorhead Police welcomed 3 new officers during an administration of the oath of office ceremony. The participating officers were Andrew Frovarp, Zach Johnson, and Brock Bertilla. Moorhead Police say the addition of these 3 are going to be a big help to the community.
The rules and regulation ethics.
Our city increased population in the area and increased call load, and bringing new people on board and getting open positions filled and hopefully expanding our department over the next couple of years is essential to us being able to continue to provide the quality service that we want to bring to our community.
Officer Nicholas Schultz was also awarded the department's life-saving award for his actions taken on New Year's Day that helped save the life of a Moorhead resident.
Congratulations, Officer Schultz.
Yeah.
Later on Valley News Live at 6, we'll give you some tips on how to do some Easter egg decorating.
We've got some warm summer-like weather across southern portions of the U.S., and that's where it's going to stay. We're going to be cool and unsettled as we head through the next 7 days. Your forecast, including a look at the Easter weekend, coming up right after this.